calendar year 2025 General Appropriations Act. But before we proceed to the Rebid proper, let us first check the attendance. We already have a quorum. Engineer Kalisay, please do the honor.
Good afternoon, everyone. For the attendance, we have our back chairman, Ma'am Mariana Castellar.
Present.
Back vice chairman, Sir Bonifacio Tabige. Back members, Ma'am Larissa de Rayunan, Ma'am Josephine Hime.
Present.
Sir Noel Sampangon. From End User Construction, Sir Rogelio Alcaldo Jr. Procurement Engineer, Sir Donald Arquelias. DPWH Head, Sir Vitaliana Andalos Jr. DPWH members, Sir Joseph Joel Gonzalez, Sir Michael John Cantilier, Sir Cornelio Hermosa, Sir John Glenn Alvarez. For back secretariat members, yours truly, Roberta Canizal, Ma'am Joji Tamayo, Sir Bernie Aban, Ma'am Nori Piazares, and Ma'am Sunshine Malatumbano.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Kalisay. I think we already have a quorum and in the presence of the end user unit. Yes, we have a quorum. Here are the, okay, before we proceed, please be informed that we have invited the presence or their duly authorized representative as observer for today's activity. First, we have invited the president of DEO Masbate Incorporated, Judge Manuel Sese. Also, we invited the Commission on Audit, State Auditor 3, Mr. Gabriel Stanislao, and Mr. Jose Ranyola, the NACAP representative. Here are the projects that we are going, that are subject for Rebid this afternoon. First, under contract ID number 25FI0050, contract name, Organizational Outcome 1, ensure safe and reliable national road system, bridge, widening of permanent bridges, Maingaran Bridge, along Masbate-Milagros Road. This is a widening of permanent bridges with an approved budget for the contract of 29,399,946 pesos and 2 centavos. Contract duration 226 calendar days, and the amount of bidding documents is only 25,000 pesos. Now, Engineer Rogelio Alcaldo will discuss the components of bid data sheet. Go on, Engineer Alcaldo.
Thank you, Madam. The only contract similar to the project refers to contract consisting major categories of work. The major category of work is bridge construction, concrete superstructure with driven pipes. The similar categories of work: bridge retrofitting concrete superstructure with driven pipes, bridge construction with 4 piles, bridge rehabilitation with 4 piles, bridge rehabilitation concrete, bridge construction concrete, bridge rehabilitation retrofitting. The key personnel must meet the required minimum years of experience as follows: 1 project manager, 5 years similar experience, 15 years relevant experience. 1 project engineer, no minimum required, but must be DPWH accredited professional engineer, project engineer. Materials engineer, no minimum experience required, but must be DPWH accredited materials engineer 1. 1 construction safety officer, no minimum required experience, must be course training. 1 foreman, 3 years similar experience, 5 years relevant experience. The minimum major equipment requirements are the following: 1 unit applicator machine, 1 unit backhoe well mounted, 28 cubic capacity, 1 12 units of barricade laser light, 3 volt capacity, 1 unit of boom truck, 10 metric ton capacity, 1 unit of cargo or service truck, 9 to 10 metric ton capacity, 1 unit of cargo or service truck, 2 to 5 metric ton capacity, 1 concrete mud plant, 30 cubic capacity, 1 concrete saw, 1 concrete screeder, 2 units of concrete vibrator, 1 unit of cutting outfit, 2 units of dump truck, 12 cubic yard capacity, 1 unit of drill sealer machine, 1 unit of kneading machine, 1 unit of road grader, 1 unit of 1 bagger mixer, 1 unit of B-loader, 1.5 cubic capacity, 1 unit of plate compactor, 5 horsepower capacity, 4 units of transit mixer, 5 cubic feet per minute capacity, 1 unit of vibratory roller, 10 metric ton capacity, 1 unit of water truck or pump, 16,000 liter capacity, 2 units of jackhammer, 1 unit of drop hammer, 1 unit of truck mounted ring, 41 to 45 metric ton capacity, 1 unit of diesel hammer, 7,500 kilogram per meter, 1 unit of air compressor, 1 unit of bar bender, 1 unit of welding machine, 1 unit of telescopic mandate, and minor load. Please refer to DEO 11 series of 2017 for the minimum material testing equipment and DEO 127 series of 2018 skill application of NN2184 in the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contract with the DPWH.
Okay, thank you very much, Engineer Alcagno. Okay, the next project subject for credit is under contract ID number 25 FI0054 with a contract name of Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, Multipurpose Building Facilities to support social services, rehabilitation of multi-purpose building at Jose Zurbito Senior Elementary School, Masbate City, with an approved budget for the contract of 9,899,676 pesos and 42 centavos. The contract duration is 25 calendar days, and the amount of bidding documents is 10,000 pesos. Now, back to Engineer Alcagno for the discussion of major category of work and similar category of work and other requirements for the said contract.
For this contract, major category of work is buildings repair. And the similar categories of work are buildings, retrofitting high-rise, number 2, buildings, retrofitting low-rise, building, construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, ribbon piles 1 to 5 story. For building, construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, ribbon piles 6 and above story. Building, construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, cast-in-place piles 1 to 5 story. Building, construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, cast-in-place piles 6 and above story. Building, construction with piles, low-rise steel frame, ribbon piles 1 to 5 story. Building, construction with piles, high-rise steel frame, ribbon piles 6 and above stories. Building, construction with piles, low-rise steel frame, cast-in-place piles 1 to 5 stories. Building, construction with piles, high-rise steel frame, cast-in-place piles 6 and above stories. Building, construction without piles, low-rise steel frames 1 to 5 stories. Building, construction without piles, high-rise steel frame 6 and above stories. Building construction without piles, low-rise concrete frames, 1 to 5 stories. Building construction without piles, high-rise concrete frames, 6 and above stories. Building industrial plant, low-rise. Building industrial plant, medium-rise. Building industrial plant, high-rise. And building maintenance of buildings. The key personnel must meet the required minimum years of experience as listed below. 1 project manager, 5 years similar experience, 15 years relevant experience. 1 project engineer with no minimum required experience but must be accredited DPWH provisional project engineer. 1 materials engineer, no minimum required but must be DPWH accredited materials engineer 1. 1 construction safety officer, no minimum required experience but with cost training. 1 foreman, 3 years similar experience and 5 years relevant experience. The minimum major equipment requirements are the following. 2 unit dump truck, 1 unit cargo truck or service truck, 2 to 5 metric ton, 1 unit of water truck or pump, 16,000 liters capacity, 1 unit of truck mounted crane with bucket, 41 to 45 metric ton, 1 unit of lubid driller, 1 unit of backhoe, 28 cubic capacity, 1 unit of backhoe with rigger, 28 cubic capacity, 1 unit of 1 bagger mixer, 1 unit of plate compactor, 1 unit of welding machine, 1 unit of chainsaw, 1 unit of cutting outfit, 1 unit bar cutter, single phase, and 1 unit of bar binder, 3 phase, and minor tools.
Okay, thank you very much, Engineer Alcamno. The prospective bidders should be registered and classified by the Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB with PCAB license category of at least C and D for general engineering and small b for buildings. Now, let us proceed to the last project with contract ID number 25FI0055 and contract name Convergence Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program or BIP, Multi-Purpose Buildings, Facilities to Support Social Services, Construction of Multi-Purpose Building at Barangay, Espinosa, Masbate City. This is a construction of multi-purpose building with approved budget for the contract of 9,899,746 pesos and 25 centavos. Contract duration 95 calendar days and the amount of bidding document amounting to 10,000 pesos. Engineer Alcagno, please discuss the major category of work as well as the other requirements for technical requirements to this contract.
For this purpose, contract similar to the project refers to the contract which have the same major categories of work which shall be major categories of work are building, construction without piles, low-rise concrete frames, 1 to 5 stories. The similar categories of work are building, construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, cast-in-place piles, 6 and above stories. Number 2, building, construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, cast-in-place piles, 1 to 5 stories. Number 3, building, construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, ribbon piles, 6 and above stories. Number 4, building, construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, ribbon piles, 1 to 5 stories. And building, construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame, 6 and above stories. The key personnel must meet the required minimum years of experience as said below. 1 project manager, 5 years similar experience, 15 years relevant experience. 1 project engineer, no minimum requirement of experience but must be DPWH accredited provisional project engineer. 1 materials engineer, no minimum required experience but must be dump truck, 12 cubic yard capacity, 1 unit low bid trailer, 1 unit backhoe, 20 cubic capacity, 1 unit 1 bagger mixer, 1 unit split compactor, 1 unit bar cutter, single phase, 1 unit bar builder, 3 phase. May control.
Thank you, Engineer Alcamo. Again, the prospective bidder should be registered in the Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board with pickup license category of at least C and D for general engineering and small B for bridges. Now, Engineer Italiano Andales will discuss more about the eligibility requirements to avoid disqualification of our prospective bidders during the opening of bids.
For Section 23 eligibility requirements for the procurement of infrastructure projects, legal documents, registration certificate from SEC, Department of Trade and Industry for sole proprietorship or shipping. Mayor's business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located. For technical documents, statement of the bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, the statement of the bidder, single largest completed contract. In the case of procurement of infrastructure project, a valid Philippine Contractors Rehabilitation Board license and special pickup license in case of joint venture. For financial documents, the bidder's audited financial statement showing, among others, the bidder's total and current asset and liability stamp received by the DIR. For Class B document for infrastructure projects, JV bidders shall submit a JBA in accordance with RA 4566 in its IRR. For the eligibility criteria for the procurement of infrastructure project, duly licensed Filipino citizens, partnership duly organized under the laws of the Philippines in which at least 60% of the interest belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Persons, entities forming themselves into joint venture for the in accordance with RA 4566 entitled an act creating the Philippine License Board for Contractors, prescribing its powers, duties, and functions, providing funds therefore and for other purposes. The persons, entities enumerated in Section 23.4.2.1 of this IRR may participate in competitive bidding if he has been issued a license by the pickup bids or as a contractor. For the procurement of infrastructure projects, LGF certificate of registration, pickup license and registration, statement of ongoing government and private contract, statement of SLCC, NFCC, bid security, organizational chart, list of contractors personnel, list of contractors major equipment units, omnibus zone statement. For the omnibus zone statement executed by the bidder or its duly authorized representative shall contain the following. The signatory is duly authorized representative of the prospective bidder. Then it is not blacklisted. And C, each of the documents submitted in satisfaction of the bidding requirement is an authentic copy of the original complete in all statement information. Then to ensure transparency and accurate representation of the bid submission, the fact Secretariat shall notify in writing all bidders whose bid it has received through its PLDFs registered physical address of official email address. The notice shall be issued within 7 calendar days from the date of the bid opening. Unsealed or unmarked bid envelope or in case of electronic bid submission, bidding documents not compressed, archive folders and are not password protected shall be rejected. However, bid envelopes that are not properly sealed and marked or not properly compressed and password protected
contractors who wish to participate in the bidding process are encouraged to enroll in the DPWH Civil Works application at the DPWH Procurement Service located at the 5th floor of DPWH building at Bonifacio Drive, Port Area, Manila. While those who are already enrolled in the CWA will keep their records updated and current. To all the prospective bidders, they shall present their original official receipt of payment for the bid documents here at the Bank Secretariat Office before the deadline of submission, which is on October 6, 2025 at exactly 1 in the afternoon. That is the deadline. And the owner or authorized representatives included in the CRC will be allowed to transact business relative to the bidding matters, and those representatives not included in the CRC are required to submit a special power of attorney or secretary certificate, whichever is applicable, with 2 valid government issued IDs, and of course their proof that they are the employee or the authorized license officer of the company if they are, or firm they are presented. We will only allow if they can show us any proof. Okay. All participating bidders must be in the document request list in the PhilJobs website, and they must secure a printout copy of the DRL that they are included. Also, interested bidders may obtain further information here at the Bank Secretariat Office anytime from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the complete set of bidding documents may also be acquired by the interested bidders upon, of course, payment of applicable fees for the bidding documents. Again, they can present original receipt of payment or by electronic means. Bid submission may be done manually or electronically. However, the prospective bidders should only select one mode of submission, either by electronic or the hard copy, or manual submission of bids. Bids must be duly received by the Bank Secretariat for manual submission, or if by electronic means, here is the email ad, electronic bids _masbate2@dpwh.gov.ph, all small letters. Of course, all bids must be accompanied by the bid security. And the bid opening will be, as I mentioned earlier, will be on October 6, 2025, immediately after the deadline. So the deadline is 1 p.m. At 1:01 in the afternoon, the dropping of bids will be closed. We will not accept late bids. So the bids will be open in the presence of the bidders representative who choose to attend the activity. So meaning this is not mandatory. What else? This is very important. The DPWH Masbate 2nd District Engineering Office reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with sections 35.6 and 41 of the 2016 revised implementing rules and regulations of RA 9184 without thereby incurring